Welcome back to our lifestyle segment, and we're on the second part where we will be talking about World Food Day 2024, looking at this year's theme, Right to Food for a Better Life and a Better Future. Joining us to have this conversation, we have two amazing chefs here with us, Chef Goodness and Chef Paulinus. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we have lots of chefs with us in the studio today, and it's so exciting because I like food. But in honor of World Food Day, what does that day mean to you, Chef Goodness? World Food Day.
Okay, World Food Day, what it meant to me is that, number one, I'm glad I'm a chef. It's a day that will come together to, celebrate ourselves and help the world know that we exist. And also a day that will showcase so many of our food, our talent, and our skills. It's a day that will come together as a chef all over the world. It's not only in Nigeria, but all over the world. So we celebrate ourselves as a chef. You have been in the kitchen, at the backyard of the kitchen, nobody knows you. It's a day that is a special day that will come together to put a smile on our face. That's it.
Chef Paulinus, I'd like to also hear your thoughts on World Food Day. And did you do anything special? Could you also share that with us?
Yes, of course. The International World Food Day is not actually a Nigerian thing,
Yes.
It's an international day set aside by the United Nations. It's a day to remind us the importance of food in every home. And it came up with creating food banks and to make sure that nobody lose concentration of preservation and storage of food, so that it will sustain the world. So, and for us chefs, who are the main professionals in the food industry, it's a very big thing for us because it's a day we set aside to celebrate ourselves, train the society. You asked if we have done something outstanding. Yes. As Association of Professional Chefs Nigeria, we have 36 state branches. All our state chapters went around secondary schools. I have the clips, went around secondary schools teaching the young ones how to cook. They have food feed, the school feeding program. We did it Wednesday and Thursday. So, and teaching them also how to produce those dishes. So it was a very wonderful day. And look at it also. We have the whole week. 16 October World Food Day, 20th October World Chefs Day. So we just occupy ourselves the whole week, and we are doing a whole lot of things here.
Yeah. Okay. I would like to know your thoughts, Chef Paulinus, on this year's theme. Now, it's Right to Food for a Better Life and a Better Future. Could you expand more on that?
Yes. That's a reminder, because every theme drives home a message. Reminding us that as a human being, you have rights to food. Recently, we have the upsurge of food prices.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a bit.
And all that. So it goes down to the government, the policymakers, to make sure that there are policies in place to ensure adequate production of food. So that right to food is a very big message.
Yes. Every human, every living thing should have food and right to food. But it's quite unfortunate that in the times we're in right now, particularly in Nigeria, our economy it keeps decreasing and decreasing. And this affects every single Nigerian, affects the food prices, affects transportation prices, which in return, affects the farmers transporting food to the market. And, everything just, I would like to know your thoughts on this current situation right now, Chef Goodness.
Okay, the problem that we have is, number one, logistics. The food from the farm, God bless Nigeria, that when you go to the market, you see a lot of vegetables. We have food, we are blessed, not only with oil, but we are blessed with food all over Nigeria. Then, by the time they will bring it out from the farm, to transport it to the market is war, because it's very expensive. where you use 200 naira to go, you are using 1,500 to go. And you find out they will increase the price of those foodstuffs. And by the time those retailers come to buy so that they will be able to sell, they will also add their own, because where they are going again, they have to pay a very huge amount of money. So the problem we have now is making things to increase, food to increase, is because of logistics. Because if transportation is in normal range, I think we'll be able to transport our food all over. For example, you go to Jos now, you see a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits there. But for you to transport it from that place to the park, then the motor will charge you again. You drop to your own park. From where you pick it to your own house, you see at the end of the day, you have added more money. So we are pleading on government to come to our aid and help us, because right now, people are not feeding well. Kwashiorkor is back in Nigeria.
So unfortunate.
Sickness is back in Nigeria, because people are not eating right. They just want to fill their stomach. They are not eating in a given proportion. They are not eating right food, again, because of the way things are. So government need to do something for the poor masses out there.
I agree with that, which leads me to my next question, Chef Paulinus. What role do you think the government should play, you know, in protecting the right to food, particularly here in Nigeria? So for every Nigerian, what role should the government play to protect the right to food?
Well, I've listened to some people argue, how does dollar affect the price of food which is produced locally? That's a very minute thinking, because whatever the government is doing there with the exchange rates, remember, we are still, apart from the Dangote refinery, we are still importing. And another thing is that even when buying, as NNPC is dealing with Dangote, there is this news of using the international price. And when you are using the international price, it's still like we are using the same importing dollar and thing. And then it would still affect our prices of fuel. Like she has rightly said, this triggers down. Somebody harvests food from the farm to move it to the next location. It's a very huge amount. Because of what? Because of the cost of maintenance of the vehicle, cost of fuel, and cost of fuel is as a result of what? The dollar, naira depreciation. Do you get it? So everything is kind of intertwined.
Let's also not forget that we don't have constant electricity in Nigeria. So these farms also run on fuel and diesel. And
they run on fuel and diesel for preservation also. So that's aside. And the other aspect of it, thanks to God, I think the headers, farmers issue is reducing. If the government can put a final stop to it without sentiment, I think it will go a very long way to preserve our food.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Chef Goodness and Chef Paulinus. But before we go, I would like to ask, I want both of you to answer this. What is the most outrageous food item right now that when you heard the price, you were like, what? How did we get here? What food item in the market was it?
Like yesterday I was at the market to buy oil. Oil that I bought 2 months ago, 45,000, is now 76,000.
How many liters is that?
25 liter.
Wow.
The rice is 107,000.
Rice is 107,000 now.
Rice?
Rice.
Oh.
That it should be, what do you call it? Ebonyi. Everywhere is planting rice. 107,000.
Not even foreign rice.
Not even foreign.
Local rice, Nigerian made
So
rice.
that's getting very crazy.
It
and
is.
It's not about using NIN and selling 40,000 naira. So it will go around how many people? Let's put the right policy in place and sustain our food culture.
We hope the government is listening, and we really hope that there would be a reduction when it comes to the cost of food items to ensure Nigerians have that right to food and to protect our food security here in Nigeria. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me. And happy World Food Day to everyone that celebrated this week. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll bring you more on The Weekend Show. To stay with us.